Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This last week we've been at Monza for the Le Mans series. This is a track that I really like, so I was trying my best to get as many races in this week as I possibly could. Here I've set the weather to default and the track state, as you can see, is 35%. Don't worry, I'm only going to show you 3 laps of my 5 lap run. Basically, obviously trying to get the fastest lap time as I could, but at the same time trying to keep a consistent set of laps as well. Don't want them varying too much in times. But yeah, as you can see there, only difference of 2 to 3 tenths. I'll talk you guys through my first 2 laps, and obviously the last one was the fastest one, so I'll leave you guys to watch that one, and then we'll talk afterwards. Hope you guys don't mind. I decided to record this live, so that you guys can actually see the delta and give you guys a good idea as to how and why I'm improving on certain corners and not on others. Coming into turn 1, I brake at the 150 mark and quite a slow, smooth turn in. This being a low downforce setup, the turning isn't amazing, so you have to be quite careful, especially dealing with that understeer. As you saw, you can take a lot of the first curb, but you've got to be very careful to go around the second curb. It's also very easy to get a slowdown on the first curb, so be careful. For turn 2, hard braking just before the bridge, you can cut both of these curves quite aggressive, but you have to be very careful again not to get a slowdown. Also with the second curb, you have to be a little bit careful on throttle on exit. For Lismo 1 and 2, I do have to turn in a little bit earlier than what I would like to do with the understeer. As you can see, I got a little off track there, so this lap isn't a valid lap. Turned in a little bit too late there, but again, it's very difficult. If you've got a high downforce setup, you know, Lesmos are just easy, as well as the Skyro coming up now, but with this you have to be really careful. Again, brake quite hard, turn in, but you have to make sure you avoid the first sausage curb on that first left-hander. There's 3 and you don't touch the first one. If you just miss the first one and you go over the second and third one, that's fine, but if you hit the first one, you are going to completely ruin your car. You're going to launch it and it's going to kill the car. You're going to have loads of damage to repair, so it's not worth it, especially when you're not that accustomed to the track. Make sure you go around it. So yeah, that was that lap. It was a 31.5, which isn't too bad. I think I'm about 3 to 4 tenths off Martin Kronke's time in the VRS setup that he used, which is obviously what this is based off. So you can see there that turn 1 wasn't the best. It was good out of the first curve, but the second curve just went a little bit wide. Lost myself a little bit of time on the gravel. Just so you guys are aware, the manual setting for the hybrid is set to 6, and I don't touch it whatsoever. I just let it do its own thing. I'm not manually boosting myself. I'm just letting it boost whenever it deems I need boost. So and then you can also see I'm losing, I don't know, I'm losing a couple percent a lap, but it's not too bad. Coming up to a Skyrim now, again, just try and make a mental note of where my left tyre goes over the curbs. You can see I just missed the first curb, the first sausage curb, sorry. That's allowing me to get a good sort of like opening out of the next 2 corners. So there you have it. 30. What was that? 31.4. So yeah, that's not too bad. I think Conker's time was a 31.2. Either 31.1 or 31.2. So being 2 tenths off his time, definitely not gonna complain about that. Um, but yeah, what have I learned this week? I mean, geez, like for instance, like I said, look at this first. I mean, look, you see how much you can actually cut that? You can cut that quite a bit. Obviously, the second curve, you've got to go around it, especially with this low downforce setup. I did notice that there were a lot of people running a high downforce setup, and they can be even more aggressive with the curbs. They take them, they can take them really, really hard. Again, look how much I'm cutting here just from the outside view. I mean, look at that. That's quite a big chunk of the curbs that I'm taking out there. But yeah, and then obviously with this Lesmo, like I said, I feel like I've got to be gentle, because even though it's a low downforce setup, if you turn the wheel too sharp, you lose the rear for a little bit, losing you even more time. So you're better off dealing with the understeer than that snap oversteer and slide. Again, just watch me going over the curbs. You'll see just missed the first sausage curve there. Again, that's what sort of makes that corner, that the exit corner out of Ascari, you can go over the curb, but you have to be very careful, because I'm not too sure where it is, but there is a point where, again, you will be launched, so you have to be careful there. And then obviously through here, again, just deal with the understeer, just turning a little bit earlier, and that's that. But again, with the high downforce setup, these corners are so much more easier. But obviously lacking top speed. But there are certain people that were getting quite good, still decent top end speed, and not as fast as mine, where I'm reaching like 311, 312. But everywhere else they're basically just as fast as me. So definitely something to do with the setups they've got there. But it's really good. But yeah, a lot of risk reward when it comes to this track. You can really cut a lot of the corners. I say a lot of the curbs quite a lot, and make up quite a bit of time. But it comes at the cost of getting a slowdown. The amount of slowdowns I got on this track, it's like everybody gets slowdowns. Even the fastest guys, I watched a few of their streams this week, and even they get caught out once or twice in a race with the slowdown. So it's even they make mistakes. So it's nothing to be ashamed about. This track is very demanding, especially when it comes to the accuracy as well. Especially with the Lesmos. The Lesmos are very difficult, even though they're quite fun. You have to be so accurate with them to get the most out of the corners, especially in this low downforce setup. What else have I learned this week? Yeah, I mean, nothing much else really. Again, I had fun. I had a lot of fun. I do like this car track combo. But it is difficult. It is difficult. It is very difficult. Oh, and also stay away from those curbs in Ascari, please. They ruined our 6-hour race, so don't let it ruin yours next time. Anyway, man, thanks for watching, you guys. I'll catch you a lot later.